oatmeal this morning. Pop salmon oatmeal. Oh boy. If I can get to it. I got all this spap in the way. The tea kettle is making all this noise. I ordered a new box of oatmeal from Amazon. And that thing weighed like 10 pounds. I was like, dang, cool, man. 10 pounds of oatmeal from Amazon. I got my great grains. So there's another cereal. I want to try. It's called Guaranteed to Make You Poop or something like that. You know, I don't want to buy it unless it tastes good. But that's a funny name. It's like Guaranteed to Make You Poop. I gotta get a shelf for my pantry. Everything's just stacked up on top of each other and it keeps falling. You know. I need one of those closet organizer companies to come and help me. So, all right. Four ounces of oatmeal and no coffee because the body won't tolerate coffee anymore. So, exciting life, man. Exciting. It reminds me of the story of the two men that went to the doctor. And the doctor tells the one man, he says, Mr. Smith, if you stop drinking and smoking, you're going to live. You're going to be all right. And he turns to the other man and he says, well, Mr. Jones, I'm sorry. You're going to die. Mr. Jones says, but doctor, I don't drink or smoke now. The doctor says, that's a problem. Your ship's going down. You don't have anything to throw overboard. So, oatmeal with honey. Wow. As Daddy Lincoln would say, that's a thriller. When I was a kid, I worked on this garbage truck with Daddy Lincoln. And Daddy would get a can of Spam. He'd get a can of Spam and a loaf of bread. Back then, that was like $1.97. And he'd take that Spam and he'd go, oh, push it into his mouth. And he would bite off a part of the loaf of bread. And I would say, Daddy, isn't that bad for you? All that Spam, all the salt. And he'd look at me and go, son, Daddy Lincoln got high blood pressure. And the thing was Daddy Lincoln worked on the garbage truck with me. I was like 16. And Daddy Lincoln was like 70. And I was the driver, and Daddy Lincoln was my helper. And he would work on the garbage truck all day long. Then he would go to the bus stop and stand and wait for a bus. And he used a cane. So here he was, an old man working on a garbage truck, had to wait at the bus stop with a cane. So I was merciful to him. When I got out to the route, I let him drive my truck, and he couldn't drive. And man, he tore that transmission up in that truck. Clunk. But I was merciful to him. I let the 70-year-old man sit in the truck and drive. And then I, as the 16-year-old man, threw the trash. So eventually, Daddy Lincoln got enough money scraped together to where he could retire. And I got this new partner who was a dump truck driver. He lost his job because he got so obese that they couldn't put the seat back in the truck any further for him to drive it. Every day he came to work, his wife would make him these huge meatball sandwiches on Kaiser rolls and like a gallon of iced tea. And he would eat that in the morning prematurely. And then he would stop off at the sub shop and get like a 3-foot long sub. And all he would do was sit in the cab of the truck and eat all day. So I ended up doing the whole route by myself, throwing umpteen tons of trash in the heat. So this guy after he ate all of this food would fall asleep while he was driving the truck. And we'd be going down the road and he would swipe telephone poles and stop signs and all kinds of stuff with the truck. And as a helper hanging on the side of the garbage truck, you get whacked by trees and every other thing. And when you would see something coming and you knew the driver was going to hit it, the only thing to do was to hop into the garbage in the back of the truck, hop into the hopper, so at least you'd be safe. So I went to the company. I was like, look, I can save you all a bunch of money. I can drive the truck and throw the trash. You give me a little raise, give me a little something. So that's what they did. They put me on the truck by myself. And I used to do hop outs all day where you pull up in the truck, hop out, run around back, throw the trash in, pack the truck, and then hop back in and drive up. And I made better time than with the other guy who used to eat himself to death in the truck. But for me, it was a matter of survival because I knew that one day that guy was going to back over me with the truck, or do something to injure me. Because you'd go like this and the guy wouldn't stop the truck and he would ram into the container and you got your hands there and you'd have to go like that to keep from getting your fingers cut off. And one morning I was with this guy and his son, and the guy would get on the radio, the old man would get on the radio with his words of wisdom. He had like a radio show in the morning for all the other garbage men. And Mr. Poole would get on the radio and give all of the other men his wisdom. Well, one morning while he was giving all of the other men his wisdom, his son was behind the truck dumping the dumpsters all by himself. And I was going in and out of the apartment, pulling the dumpsters out and taking the empty ones back inside. So his son and I were doing all the work. So I pulled the full dumpsters out and brought the empty dumpsters back inside the apartment. And lo and behold, this man in a pickup truck pulled out of the apartment parking, underground parking, and he bumped one of the full cans of trash, and it went bang, 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 bang into the other full cans, and they went into Mr. Poole's son in the back of the truck and literally cut the kid in half. So I came back outside, and his son was slumped over in the hopper of the truck, and his legs were kind of just dangling. And I'm like waving, trying to get the driver to come out, to give up his radio show and come out and help me move the cans away. But his son was already gone. His son had passed while he had the dumpster of trash mushed up against him. And so I had to leave because instead of blaming himself for his unattentiveness, the driver took it out on me. He was like, well, where were you? I was like, I was inside bolting the dumpster back to the compactor and cleaning up the trash room like I was supposed to be doing. Where were you? You were up in the cab running your little radio show, your little bits of garbage man wisdom that you were giving to all the other drivers over the radio while your son was being crushed to death in the back of the truck. So after that, the guy wouldn't let me stop for food or water or anything, or even to go to the bathroom. I was like, to heck with this. To heck with this. So I left and went someplace else. He got other helpers, but he couldn't keep anybody with him on the truck. He became too bitter, but he wouldn't accept the fact that the accident was his fault for not paying attention. When you work on a refuse truck, you have to make sure that you're pulled over as far as you can from traffic. You have to make sure that You got every flashing light that you can turn on, turned on. You got to make sure that you listen and watch and everything for your helpers. It's a lot of responsibility because it's one of the most dangerous jobs going. Anyway, speaking of going, I have to get back in bed and get my circulation going. The wheelchair is starting to hurt. So I hope you have a good morning. Poppity Pops out.